Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
We'd like to say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. We each and every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 right here on Knon 89.3 FM. The voice of the people. Got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things going on. In the studio with us this morning is Reverend Ron Wright, and we're going to be talking about some things happening down around the DA's office, and just a lot of things. We're in the midst of our winter pledge drive, and we definitely need those pledges coming in. I have a list of pledges, former pledges, even from last year. We're going to recognize you, all of our pledgees and everything. So we got a lot to talk about this morning. We have this young man, Michael John, and I'm trying to get the young man that was killed there in Florida by this white man that said they played the music too loud, so he decided he'd shoot the car up because they were playing their music too loud. And the young lady in Detroit that had a bad wreck, I think it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, she went and knocked on the door asking for help. The white man shot her down. All over this country, these killings, these ridiculous things that are happening. Reverend Wright, you think these are backlashes to the election of the president, or has it just been going on and we're just now beginning to realize what's really happening in this country? What do you think about this?
Good morning, Pastor, and thank you again for all that you do and for allowing us to get this information out to our people. It's amazing, Pastor, that you said that, because I brought some more unfortunate news to you. In November of 2013, a 28-year-old African-American man who was married to a young white lady in Jasper, Texas, was murdered.
Right.
Yeah. His name, they brought it to our office on Thursday. I had done some research, and we found out his name was Alfred Wright. And so I'm not real sure if he's in relations to me, because my people are from East Texas and Sulphur Springs and down in that area. So we're looking into it, but there were two contradictory autopsies. The young man, he was going to see if he was a physician, he was going to see a patient. Truck stopped on him. Went into the
This guy was a doctor?
He was a physician, yes, sir.
Right?
Truck stopped on him. He was still running to go see a patient. Went into a store, left out of the store running, put his cell phone in there. He was missing for 3 or 4 days. The sheriff department told the family that they were just tired of looking for him. And so the father, who was a pastor down there, him and some friends went out and looking for his son, and they found his son.
They went looking for him.
They went looking for him, found the son, and he was dead. The autopsy from the sheriff department said that he had, from Sabine County, said that he had overdosed. It was an overdose of meth. But when the father and his friends found the boy, his ears was cut off, his fingers was cut off, his teeth were missing.
So what?
Yes, sir.
So there was contradictory. Probably was a torture before.
Absolutely, a contradictory autopsy report, and so we're going to. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee is asked the Justice Department to step in, but we're going to step in starting next week to make sure, because this took place in November, and CNN and all of them done a story on it, but you notice it never made it down to this end of Texas, and right here where we are, and it just happened right there in East Texas.
You know, Jasper's the place where, what is that guy name?
Bird. Yeah, Bird.
Was drugged.
3
thugs drugged him.
That is correct.
And killed him.
This young man sat out there for 4 days. I mean, his phone was still in his sock. When the sheriff department came out, they said that they were all muddy and they were muddy. But when the family found him, There was no mud on him.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Clean as a pin. One of his ears that got cut off.
They said they looked for him. They got tired of looking.
They got tired of looking for him. But the family went out and they
called the search off.
And they called the search off. Family went out and they found him.
Oh man, we got a lot.
His throat had been cut, and so the autopsy from that county said that he had drug overdose because he had a drug overdose.
Can you imagine that? And you say he was on a call.
He was on his way to see a patient, and his truck stopped on him. Now, in Jasper, they probably knew him because he was a physician. He was married to a young white lady.
Yeah.
And had 2 children.
They knew that too.
They knew all of that. And from the way he was murdered is a sign that was from one of those skinhead groups of clans that they have down there. That's what the paper put out. That's the way it was portrayed to be.
I'm told that's a lot of Klan activity down there in Jasper, and it's another little town down there. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Out from Orange down there. Oh my God.
Linfield was where we, years ago we done the young man that moved the radio should have been done to him because they took the neighborhood kind of retarded guy and took him and threw him in the back of a truck and literally beat him to death almost with full cans of beer and threw him on the side of the highway. And he was later found, and that's when the Innocence Project, not the Innocence Project, but Marge Dees came in and sued that county for $11 million.
Hello.
So East Texas still has the mentality, and we've been saying this, of 1950 Mississippi.
It's sad, right here in the state of Texas. But you can call us our tax-deductible pledge. We need your pledge that's coming in today. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. We have, here's some former pledges, and some have pledged again. Miss Kimberly Walker, she pledged Ike Steen, Willie Smith, James Smith, Curtis Reed, Mary Owens, Tony Morris, Wanda Monix, Oscar McCraney. And Oscar, he pledges all the time. Thank you, sir. Anthony Lonsdale, Eddie Dunson, James Collins, Lily Brown, Donna Axino, Henry Atkins, Michael Maintenance Company, thank you for your pledge. Also, Total Precision, handgun licensing training, the handgun licensing, Total Precision, they always give to this program. We thank you. And we need you to call in. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Now, when we see what's going on in Texas, and Texas tried to stand out as a great state, a state everyone wants to live in, but how can Texas stand out when we have politicians like we have now? The senator that's gone, this freshman senator we have, has embarrassed us across the nation. We're becoming the modern day Mississippi, Texas and Florida. It's no longer Alabama and Mississippi. It seems to be Texas and Florida. What is happening? Are Texans, do our people in Texas, do you want this type of reputation of being like Mississippi and Alabama and others? Although we were no better than they were then, but at least the reputation was better. But now our reputation is tarnished. You think what's in you really always just going to come out what's already in Texas? Pat,
the unfortunate thing is leadership reflects attitude. And the fact that not only, I noticed that most of these attorney generals that are running for election this year, every other commercial is them bashing President Obama, which has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on here in Texas. But we have African-American people or people of color who are in positions in this state that sit back and don't say a word. I mean, I was just talking about the Jasper thing. Somebody called me and said, well, is Al Sharpton involved? I said, well, is those preachers that were involved with the Florida thing involved? because we have a tendency to want to help somebody else in another state, but when we sit and when it's our state, we don't say a word, we don't hear from anybody.
No.
And we and you both tell people constantly that silence helps the tormentor and not the tormented. And so we sit back and don't say a word, and this thing grows and grows, and before you know it, it's out of place. And you said the thing about, and I told you about attitude reflect leadership. We were just, me and you talked the other day, and we got a call that the district attorney made a statement on one of the radio stations stating that the reason why Josh Brent didn't get any time because African Americans were on the jury. And for him to say something like that is ridiculous and an insult to the African American community who voted and put him in his position.
You have to understand, he lost that case. He lost it. And he said race was a factor because of what they let the little white boy go over there in Fort Worth, Tarrant County, but he lost the case.
To him, use that as an example.
Use that as an excuse to me is desperation.
And for him to use that as an example, as an epitome to the district attorney's office, because what about all of the young African American men who have been sentenced to prison under his watch that didn't need a jury of their peers? They were all white juries. Why haven't you said anything about that?
Well, that's what made the O.J. Simpson trial so fascinating. O.J. beat them at their own game.
Absolutely.
And America went crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy behind that.
He beat them at their own game.
But for them to argue the point like that, and here they are arguing and making sure and trying to see to it that this professional football player, whose parents at the end of the day said, don't take both of my sons. The boy's parents played.
The boy that got killed, his mother and grandmother was there every day asking, please don't punish this boy. Then this is, at the end of the day, we got to respect what their wishes are. Yeah. And here it is, we got a man that shot a 3-year-old boy in the mouth, almost could have killed him, and they're not worried about that case. No. They're not focusing on things of that nature. You know what you're really hearing more about? I'm hearing more about the white man that killed the other white man in the theater down in Florida. When he threw the popcorn on.
Right.
Now that's a national story. You hardly hear nothing about the boy that was in the backseat of the car that was killed by the white man.
For the music being played loud. He shot into the car and killed a young man.
He obviously wasn't playing the music because he was in the backseat.
It's amazing that's unfortunate.
But I don't care if it was. What if there'd been a black man?
Oh. It'd be all over the story. It'd be all over the news.
No. His hanging would have been all over.
Well, you're right about that. His hanging would have been all. It's a sad thing that we don't own a media. Out of all the years and all the things that we've been to, we don't own one media company that can get our stories out, and that includes black newspapers as well in this city.
You remember when oh God, I can't think of anything. The comedian tried to buy NBC.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And boy, all of a sudden, bad things start happening to him. Bad things.
They didn't want him to get it.
His son got killed. Just everything. There's everything terrible began to happen to him.
But Pastor, when I look at people like the Oprah Winfrey's and the Jay-Z's and all of these people who've got money that can buy the media so we can tell our story, the last thing they're thinking about is us. But it's our children that have made them the billionaires and the millionaires that they are today.
I got a chance to see that video on Beyonce.
The Grammy Award video.
Now here's the woman that's probably she's right at a billionaire within herself. Her husband is a billionaire. They have private jets. They have everything you can think of.
Right.
Why do you still have to strip naked?
Well, if we want to watch it.
Why do you have to do this? And you got all the money you'd ever dream of. Why can't you bring some decency, some class to yourself?
Absolutely. We want to watch porn, we can get on a porn station. Yeah. I mean, why do you supposed to be at a Grammy Award? We're looking for you to stand out so we can say, look at our sister go. And here you come, this like at a strip bar.
See, that should have been there, done.
But that's being taught to our young ladies, and they'll teach it to their young babies instead of trying to get offended. We went to the Martin Luther King parade, and they had 3- and 4-year-old kids dancing like that.
Man,
what's cute about that?
I've complained about that for years. I've complained. It angers me. What do that have to do with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Absolutely nothing. If Dr. King was here today, he wouldn't even attend he wouldn't have anything to do with that parade. But it's not about Dr. King, it's about money.
Yeah.
And to put that on and insult Dr. King and have them go through that is definitely it is an insult to our people. And it's about, like I said again, it's about money. So we are our own worst enemy.
All right.
Those people that are in charge should lead. We don't have the right, and I hate to say this, but we don't have the right leaders in a position to carry our people.
Why you hate to say it? Just tell the truth.
Everybody's about their own self. Ain't nobody about trying to take care.
Everybody's
of our
trying
people.
to get their palms greased.
Everybody's trying. At the end of the
Don't
day,
care anything about the people.
Don't care a thing about the people. We got young men now actually trying to get jobs and do things. You know, I said the sad part about it is we should have told you years ago, man, y'all don't need to leave these drugs and things alone. And then I got a call the other day about on one of the shows that was here and you weren't here. There's there's one thing I want to say something. Don't ever promote. We don't promote selling drugs. I don't care what you do with your money. Selling drugs is wrong. It's wrong in our community. It's wrong everywhere.
Now say that again. You see it was on my show?
Well, somebody called me and asked why was it one of your guests had a guest on and they were former drug sellers, but they turned their money around and returned their lives around. But the thing about that is that's good. And I thank God that you did that. But don't put out that we need those that are selling drugs needs to invest their money in something legal and then start their own legal company, because at the end of the day you could be getting them in trouble and somebody very well could lose their lives. And I want to let them know on your behalf, we don't promote selling drugs. I don't care what you do with your money.
I tell you what, let's take a short break and we'll be right back. All right, we're back on Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host here. I'm giving you the wrong name. Liv producing, and our special guest this morning, Reverend Ron Wright. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. We definitely need some pledges coming in. We need some pledges coming in. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. While I'm thinking, let me remember my friends I met down at the fire department over there on Baylor, Miss Boyd, and I got to remember the other lady's name. You can't tell me. Met Lieutenant Boyd and the captain and others down over at the Dallas Fire Department. And y'all call me, give you a name. Let me say good morning to y'all. But anybody, everybody, you can call me at 972-647-1893. Let's go to line one and say good morning to Tia. All right? Good morning, Tia.
Good morning.
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yes, go right ahead. You're on the air.
Well, I'm just calling to kind of give an update on the situation that happened here in Rockwall. And I'm still on leave without pay because of the incidents of retaliation and discrimination.
You haven't gone back to work yet?
No, I have not. And they said that I would not until the entire case had been resolved, one way or the other. And actually, they didn't say that I'd be welcome back. They said at that point we could, quote unquote, sit down and talk about, you probably coming back. So
she got a letter the other day where they cut off her insurance. They told her that if she didn't pay her insurance, that they would cut her insurance off.
She wouldn't have any insurance.
Wouldn't have any insurance.
No job, so how you going to pay for insurance?
Exactly.
This is utterly ridiculous. Refresh everybody what the case is all about.
Well, I've been accused of theft. I found a cell phone in the parking lot area of a local shopping establishment. And
where was the cell phone when you found it?
The cell phone was on the ground. I almost stepped on it. And the brief version of the story is that within the hour, I sought out the owner, made sure he got his property back, and a couple of days later, he ends up telling the police that his cell phone was stolen. He's advised by the police officer to go down, file a police report, press charges, and a warrant will be issued for my arrest. And that's exactly what happened. There was no hearing. There was never an investigation, nothing. Just a warrant issued for my arrest. I was eventually arrested, and I had to go to jail.
No, this is ridiculous. Had you gotten your phone back and you went down and told them that this white man stole your phone, do you think the police would have arrested you?
Absolutely not.
No, they would have told you get out of the office and get lost. Don't come back anymore. You got your phone. You found it on the ground, so you didn't steal it. You made sure it was returned to him. And the police, they finally arrested you.
Yes.
She was in a car wreck. 18-wheeler slammed on his brakes, and the car hit the 18-wheeler, and she hit the car behind him. And so the 18-wheeler kept going. She called me and said, well, Reb, I just called her. I said, well, they're going to call the sheriff department. And I said, so we need to go ahead and get prepared, because once they look you up, they might try. Well, I didn't know if Tia Hambrick was hurt. I didn't know what and they should have known either. I don't think they even asked, are you hurt or anything wrong with you?
Right.
And she can tell me that. But after they realized who she was, and this was in a little town right outside of Rockwall, like Pleasant Grove in Dallas. His father's still Rockwall. And as soon as they found out who she was, it didn't matter about the wreck. They were focusing on arresting her. And she had a child with her, and they did arrest her, treated her like she was a criminal.
What did they do with the child?
Tia?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What happened? What did they do with your daughter when she had to call somebody to come get her daughter?
Exactly. Immediately, I was on the phone calling somebody to get my daughter. And I mean, she was practically standing on the side of I-30. And I said, officer, I said, did you just going to take me? I said, I've got my minor child here with me. You're going to jail. Fortunately, I was able to call someone else really quickly to get down there and get my daughter. But
they didn't see that the child was taken care of?
Oh, no.
That was their responsibility.
They were more about stopping traffic, herding me across I-30 like, cattle in front of everyone, frisking me, patting me down.
Male officers patting her down, not a female officer. Male officer patting her down, searching her down before they arrest her.
Now, look, when they did all of this, who was it? Was it the sheriffs or was the city police?
The sheriff's department was there, but it was actually the police that arrested me. It was the state police. Like I said, I was
Fate? Okay, that's what I figured. I figured Rockwall police didn't want to touch you.
No, they didn't. It was Faith, but they made that phone call, and Rockwall probably told her to snatch her right up because. But little did they.
But I knew Rockwall wouldn't touch her.
Yeah,
wouldn't touch her. I told you that.
I don't know. When we looked up the statutes on, shouldn't they have called a female officer in to pat her down, or do male police officers have a right to pat down female?
Well, we need to find out. I'm sure we've got some lawyers listening. Call and tell us what is the procedure on that. If it was there on the highway, which means obviously, was it in the day? Well, at any time they can call a female officer.
Right.
Yeah. So you just really embarrassed. Really.
The sad part about that is the police was called the next day on a suspicious person, and this person took the light off of him and put the light on her, and instead, I don't know what. They were called because he was a suspicious person, and he turned the story around on her. Who and most police officers that I talked about, and I'm talking about from Bog Springs to Dallas to Duncanville, every last one of them said there's no way that this young lady should have been charged with theft, and the officer who done that was ridiculous.
Well, that shows you the whole department is ridiculous. The whole town seems like it's being. Is a ridiculous town. I'm talking about Rockwall, Texas.
The city manager wrote her a letter saying and told her that, and he told her he had heard she had done a radio show, so they're listening right now, and I want you to keep listening, and that she had done a press release, and that she never told him about anything being racial or discriminated, and she makes $22.85 an hour, and that she's suspended. And so we returned. Justice Seekers wrote the city manager back and told him, first of all, she doesn't make $22 an hour, she makes $21 an hour or whatever, which is irrelevant. But if you're going to talk to somebody, get your facts right. If you're a city manager, you should know what your employees are doing. We also asked him, did he take the time, this is a military woman, did he take the time to sit down and ask her part of the story? There's three sides of every story. You just took the white man's side and not her side. And I said, so all of the indications is that this is a racist town, even though you're saying that you're not. And
they're taking off work before a trial.
Before a trial, and then not even talk to, as you would think your employee would sit down and say, man, tell me what happened.
Just because one white man said this?
Exactly, but he said, we don't think that race had anything to do with this.
Race has everything to do with this.
And so the trial is going to be, and I didn't want to say it, but we're going to pack that courtroom. The trial is initially going to be on the 26th of March. And so we're going to try to
she's got to be off work at least that long.
At least that long. We've contacted the military, and they're going to think, by the grace of God, they're going to be patient with her. And so they believe that she's going to get through this, and they're just going to hold off until she can get done what she needs to get done. But at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, Rockwall's going to be in a little trouble. Yeah.
That should be a lawsuit against this city. It's a sad situation when we're going through things like this. But Tia?
Yes, sir.
You're trying to hang in there. Have you found any other employment?
I have been looking, but this whole situation has hampered my ability to find employment simply because the employers, everybody's going to do a background check, you know? And so who wants to hire you when their first thing is, oh, you've been arrested for theft, huh? You know, so it's hampering all of that. You know, everybody's running fingerprints, everybody does a background check, and I can't even draw unemployment because the city will not release me. Okay, you don't want to fire me,
but they won't release.
In the midst of all this, but you still going to leave without pay, so I can't even draw unemployment.
They're trying to starve her out of town.
They are. But we're going to, we've been in touch with the attorney, and we're going to run the situation. They're going to pay back pay. And like I said, we're going to get the Justice Department involved.
They're going to pay her for defamation of character, everything.
Absolutely. And nobody has said a word about, and they showed a video of things that they had that she's never denied going into the store, but the video doesn't show her picking up the phone or anything like that, but it shows that she was in the store, which she's never denied that. But what I asked them, and what we're going to ask them, does the video show the man going in, asking information about her that store shouldn't have given up. And so we're going to get the Federal Transportation Trade Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, to investigate this case as well. And if that lady in that thrift store gave up her credit card information, we're going to shut that thrift store down.
Right. This is something. This is ridiculous. And you can call us at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. This is the number to call. We fight for you on this particular show. We fight for you. We stand up for you. Many people have problems. We stand up. We fight. So you help us. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Tia, how you making it now?
I'm doing okay. You know, my primary thing is trying to prevent a strong space for my daughters, you know, because I don't want my daughter to feel like every time she walks out the house, you know, the police are going to be after her, even though they do follow me home. They do drive back and forth by my house. They do shine spotlights on my home. That's harassment.
Oh, they're harassing you.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just tired of it. Why? After you've done all of this, now you're going to harass me, too?
Well, they're trying to get you to the point if you just drop, if you move out of town, they'd probably drop the case. They'd leave that on your background, which means that you have a problem getting other jobs and doing other things.
She was told they would drop the case if she take a theft program.
So what?
Right. The DA said, okay, fine, I'll drop the charges, but she needs to go take some anti-theft classes.
Anti-theft, as if you're a thief.
And that was exactly my point.
And if you took that class, you would be admitting to be a thief.
Exactly. And then they wouldn't have dismissed it fully. That would have been considered a conditional release, which is a conditional release expunged from your record.
No.
So I told him no. Absolutely no.
You know, this is ridiculous. You know, just one white man go say, and you got his phone back to him.
Police never contacted her, never asked her, you know, and I don't understand it. Everybody knows that there are three sides to every story, his side, her side, and the truth. But if I can't just go by what you tell me and not go by, at least as a police investigator, you should go and talk to him and say, let me get your side of the story. Yeah. Because he's pressed charges and we're going to do it. They never talked to this young lady at one time, but they can drive by her house every day and harass her. And so we're getting a list of things, and we're going to bring some people in, and if they're listening, they need to know we've already contacted the Justice Department up in Washington. We're going to bring some people down here for Rockwall.
You're going to have to. That's one of those little, backwards towns that a lot of the southern hardcore right-wing politicians have retired in. And that's what they study the background of Rockwall. They've retired there. They live there. They want to keep it in a certain air and certain attitude. It's so sad because it can be such a beautiful city sitting out on the lake and everything. You would think
they created a lake for it to for them to put the little lake homes there.
Yeah, and all of this. But the attitudes is destroying everything about that town. Everything about it. This is just as vile and vicious and racist as it could ever be. It's a sad situation here.
Next week, we're going to get in touch with all the state representatives and share their story with them and see which one of them stands up and be a voice and say something.
All right. That would be something really to be done. Really, your state representatives, people need to form a coalition, and they need to call a press conference on this. On the city. See, one thing about these little old towns like that, they don't like exposure. They don't want people to really know who they are and what they're all about. It's time to really get after them and to expose them for what they really are. So,
that trial is going to be on the 26th of March at 1 o'clock past, and we're going to try to take as many people down there again as possible to let them know that we're not going to stand for injustice to be done to this young military lady who they don't have a problem with fighting for our country and putting her life on the line, but it's a problem when it comes to this. And so we're going to try to get busloads to go down there for a trial.
Right, that's right. March 26th?
March 26th at 1 o'clock.
We got to mark that. I got to keep pushing that date. March 26th at 1 p.m. We'll probably leave Dallas probably about 11:30.
Okay.
And then be down there in plenty of time to make sure we can get all the seats in the courtroom, everything filled up, to make sure that this young lady don't get railroaded down there. They mean to do this. How is your attorney working?
We'll send you out a reminder card.
Tia?
We sat down and we had a meeting in which I basically told him, if you're not here, if you can't express the same sense of urgency that I have, then you're going to have to go. And so at this point, he assured me, Tia, I'm working on your behalf, but of course, if that changes, he can be gone soon.
Well, yes, you've got to have a good attorney. You've got to have a good attorney.
And that's what I told him. I have to feel like I am receiving the best defense possible.
Right.
If you're conflicted in any way, you let me know, because this is my life we're talking about.
Yeah, because you're talking about a kangaroo.
And he says that he has said that the attorney has said that this is ridiculous. When I talked to Reverend Wright, this is ridiculous, and this is the young district attorney who's trying to get himself well known. But I'm saying this is a little ridiculous, and he says he understands it. So we're going to monitor him and make sure he's doing the right thing. From what he's talked to me about is that this is going to get tossed out. And I told him that we were going to put it up, and he said, well, that's great. Do what you need to do.
Do you think you got a shot? We need to try this. I make some phone calls and say, we got to get the Justice Department here for a trial.
And that's what we're going to try to do.
Holder needs to send a representative. You got people from Justice Department right here in Dallas.
I'm going to ask the military to send somebody down for the trial. I'm going to ask JAG if they can send somebody down just to review the trial and get back with them. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, they don't really want to get involved because it's a criminal matter. But from talking to her commander, the commander said, I can appreciate it. We believe it's going to be all right. And at the end of the day, this reeks of retaliation because of what JAG did with Rockwall initially. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is too big to let this go over a debtor's cell phone that was returned to him, and he goes and tells, and they never would have arrested him. As you said, you lost your phone, and he brought it back to you, so you need to put him in jail. They never would have done that. Not for you.
We're still wondering why they went from suspicious call on him to him having the police file charges against her.
It's sad. Well, we're going to find out. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We need some pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 2 and bring in James on this situation. All right. All righty. We lost Tia. All right. James, come on.
Yes, good morning, Reverend Barnett. James in Palestine.
How you doing, James?
Yes, I'm doing good. Busy. Let me say a few things right quick. This coming Monday will be a city council meeting. The issue we talked about, this city manager and trying to get an attorney general, get his opinion. We're working on that. I'm going to be at the city council meeting to give them what I have here. Mr. Wynn will be there also, and he's going to be supportive in what he has to say, which we think will make an impact. But moving past that, I heard on the news, Channel 7 News, that the Alfred Wright situation in Jasper, Texas, they were going to have a rally sometime this week coming up down that way. And if everything works out, I'm going to try to take my camera down there and video this rally or whatever they're going to do in Jasper, Texas, toward Mr. Alfred Wright. And on Mr. Alfred Wright, according to the report I heard, the sheriff department had looked in the area where the family found him. So his body might have been moved, and then they put the body back after they figured we've looked and told the family.
Well, how we know those people that were looking for him didn't do it?
That's right.
They might have been the perpetrators. You never know.
That's what I believe. I know some folks down in Jasper, Texas, that I've been doing a little stuff with. One of them is the Reverend Johnny Baker that wrote that book about how prayer kept Jasper, Texas from exploding or doing something. But I want to talk about
is he saying from exploding or how prayer kept Jasper, Texas passive?
Right. It kept something. He said prayer kept Jasper, Texas. Something. He has a book about it.
Man, please.
Program.
These Negroes make me sick with that mess. They make me sick. We don't want to explode. We don't want to. They don't want to. You need to do something rather than sit back and keep letting them pick you off one by one.
And you remember the case of the young black female that was arrested in Jasper, Texas, was slung against the floor of the wall and beat up down there. I heard that case was settled. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll find out more.
It was her and her son. It was her and her son. She was with her son. They both got beat.
Whatever.
The young lady, James, go ahead. You can finish telling them the young lady got beat by the police.
Yeah. Yes. I tell you, hold up, James. I'm up against a break. Boy, it's been a fast hour. Good grief. All right. We'll be right back. Call us at 972-647-1893. We'll be right back. All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host, and we got to get some pledges in. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893 for your tax-deductible pledge. You have 30 days to pay this pledge. No, you actually have 3 months to pay this pledge. And we need you to make your tax-deductible pledge right now. Just call us at 972-647-1893. The phones are lighted, but they will ring so many times, and hopefully they don't cut you off. But if they do, just call right back. Liv is she's taking pledges, and she's answering the phone. She's doing it all. She's putting people on the air. She's in here doing this by herself. So please be patient and send us some pledges in, please. 972-647-1893. That's the number to call. Like I said, I have the most beautiful and the finest audience of any radio show, I believe, in this nation, anywhere.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I have an amazing audience. They're intelligent. They're thoughtful. They don't walk around with their heads in the sand and try to ignore what's going on. They know on this show we're going to face issues head on. We're going to face them head on. I'm not going to lollipop. Yes, if I want to get over here and put some juice with it and everything and polish it up and play a good boy, yes, I could get on here and do this. But that's just not my nature. That's not my nature. I got to tell it. When I see wrong being perpetrated, I'm going to call it out, call it as it is, and I'm not going to tap dance around it. So, and we just have a fantastic, wonderful audience that really, not only do they tolerate me, they seem to encourage me, and I meet a lot of you on the streets. I meet a lot of you different places, and y'all come, y'all shake my hand, you talk to me and everything. But we need, this is a different animal here. We don't have big corporations or anything like that supporting us.
And you are awesome. Let me just say this, Pastor, because you're an awesome radio personality, and we need to support you in this radio station, because this is not just about black folk, but this is about injustice, period. And you fight for injustice regardless to what the color is. We talk about black on black crimes like we do any other thing. So don't think we talking about one and not talking about another. You are across the line with justice, and it doesn't. The sad part about it is, I mean, the charity starts at home first. So in order for us to talk about everybody else, we got to talk about what's happening to us and wake us up.
I tell you a lot of black folk off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you do, but that's the good part about it is because you straight across the board, and that's what we need an unequal radio station that's going to put the truth out. And a lot of people probably disagree with me, and that's fine. But we can agree to disagree to try to change and do better, and that's what you put out there.
Yeah.
So we need them not only to make the pledge, but we need them to pay it. And church members, everybody need to get up and pledge this radio station because they're complaining about one of our radio stations getting cut off because you didn't support it. Now you've got one left that you need to support, and KNON is that radio station. So you need to send those payments in and pledge and keep this show going, or we're going to be in trouble.
All righty. 972-647-1893. Let's bring James on line 2 back.
Yes, thank you so much. Reverend Barnett, if you recall when Bush was governor, he refused to address the hate crimes as race. He was always saying all crimes are hate crimes, and he backed away from that. And right after he left out, the thing that happened is Todd Staples is a Palestine boy up there now. He's running for lieutenant governor. Now, he's got an ad out on the TV and on the radios about how tough he is or whatever like this. This guy here, on his advertisement, he had the sheriff of Anderson County, Greg Taylor, on there trying to promote that how efficient they are with law or crime or whatever the heck. Well, let me say this. Todd Staples' nephew, I believe it's his nephew, he's a family member there. He had 2 weapons and went out to this black guy's house arguing about a lawnmower. This guy, he sold it, that guy wanted it back. And that might have been drugs involved or something. I don't think the black guy might have been involved. But this guy was selling it to get some money to do whatever. Anyway, a gun battle ensued because he pulled his weapon on the black guy, and the black guy had a weapon and fired back up here. And the black guy got shot 3, 4, 5 times, and the white guy got shot once in the face, in the eye or something. But anyway, I heard, I haven't gotten all the information, it's been some years, but when the EMS came, they went to the white guy helping him, and the black guy, as the end result, to a certain degree, he died because they went to the white guy first. But the white guy, premeditated, went out there with 2 weapons and shot and killed this man out there. Now, Paul Staples never said anything or come down here, but he's all out there like he's a big political power, and he's got Greg Taylor up there. We have so many African-American cold cases here where the crime case scenes have been tainted, corrupt or something, where they said some of these crimes won't be resolved. We got missing people down there, so it's a bunch of cosmetic smoke they blowing out there. I'm here to tell you that.
Do they have any African Americans on the Jasper City Council?
We got 2, a black male and female, and right now we're going Monday to the city council meeting. The black male was so angry at how they was handling this, putting this white female in as a city manager. He burst out, protesting the meeting, walked out, but when he walked out, in his anger, he missed some of the information that was going on, and this black female was supposed to came late to the meeting, and her statement was, y'all will make our decision. There wasn't no use in me coming, something of that nature, but I got to find out more. But anyway, they have no power. The white guy that was helping them is in a nursing home. He's in sick bed or something. He probably won't ever be back, so we need somebody to go in there and help them to fight because they outnumbered. The 3 white male city councilmen and the mayor has voted to give this woman this position, and she has asked at the last city council meeting, she asked them to let her annex her house, only her house now, in the area where she is to be annexed in, and the reason for that is to meet the city charter requirements that the city must reside within the city limits. And this woman, it's just a lot of shenanigans going on, and we're going to challenge them come Monday, do the best we can to try to get them to not approve of her. But it's so much more here that we're very concerned about, these cold cases and everything else. So we appreciate y'all giving us an opportunity to shine the light on it.
We thank you.
Thank you so much.
972-647-1893. We need some pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. We need some tax-deductible pledges. You can deduct this from your tax. You kill 2 or 3 birds with one stone. We'd like to thank Miss Eddie, Bonson? Righty, thank you, Miss Bonson, for your tax-deductible pledge, Mrs. Eddie Bonson. Also, the Songbird of Dallas, Miss Tony Young West. Thank you for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Wonderful, wonderful. One of the great singers of our time. Great singers of our time, Miss Tommy Young West. Thank you for your tax-deductible pledge. And we need more of these pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. We need those pledges coming in. We need those pledges coming in. We need you. We need you. 972-647-1893. That's the number to call. That's the number to call. 972-647-1893. We need you, we need you, we need you, we need you to call those pledges in. Now, we have this case with the district attorney. He's saying because there was a race play, the reason why Brent was given probation on this, in this case. I wonder, do the listeners agree with that? That because here's what it says, the breakdown is that there were 6 African Americans on the 5 blacks, 4 whites, 3 Hispanics. Factored that into the equation in reaching their decision in January. Brent, who is black, grew up in a poor and played football at the University of Illinois. He went on to say a lot of things, but now could that be taken in a positive sense to say that blacks need to be on juries? How could this really be taken?
We've encouraged African Americans to be on jury duty for years and years and years, and because we haven't had them, and doing those voir dires, they can be picked, but apparently they haven't been picked, and that goes to from before Greg Watkins received that office to the district attorney before him as a jury consultant, and I was a former jury consultant, doing those voir dire cases. If this amount of African Americans would have been picked in a lot of those exoneration cases, those people wouldn't done all that time in prison. But because there was a lot of those trials were done with not jurors of their peers, we've got a lot of innocent men that have been incarcerated. And incidentally, you notice you haven't heard any more of those people being exonerated anymore. And that's the question I'd like to ask the district attorney's office, which they had nothing to do with in the very first place.
Right.
But while you were trying to get credit for doing it, why don't you continue to do it? Because we know Texas, and my desk, every day we get letters from people, and everybody says that they're innocent, but some of these cases we have been investigating, they are innocent, and they never should. The Bailey law should include, because a lot of the evidence was not presented in their trial, and it was done through the district attorney's office.
You know, but still, we see that it's rare that you'll have more blacks on a jury in Dallas County. This was done in this sense. But it should show all of us that we need to participate.
But the jurors were picked, Pastor, by the defense attorney and the prosecutor doing the jury, the voir dire.
Usually whoever is on one side that do the striking, they both can strike. They will say that, they'll strike. African Americans usually strike off a jury.
And that's exactly. And so why...
They say we lean toward the defense more often. That's what they say. Than we do the prosecution.
Well, that's because we've been falsely prosecuted for so many years. We don't have other choice but to think, because y'all lied.
But I don't even know if that's true or not. Well, I really don't know if that's true. It might be, but we have been railroaded for so long.
Many years. And so what makes us think that we're ever going to get justice in this? But my question to you again is doing those voir dires, most African Americans are stricken from the jury. Why is it that this time the prosecutors allowed that many African Americans be on this trial versus on any other trial?
Well, maybe that's what the DA is trying to say here. He told his people, don't strike all the blacks off the jury. I don't know. I'm going to try to contact Greg Watkins and get him on the program. I want to know why did he make this statement? Because this could be been very derogatory to us and our people. It could be very derogatory, or it might have been a strategy to see that this man got a fair trial. I want to see really what happened, because one thing we do know, we do need more African Americans to participate and be a part of that pool. We do need more African Americans to be a part of this. And when we see something like this happen, I'm glad the young man is given another chance.
Well, Pastor, what he did was wrong, and we don't promote driving while drunk. Nobody's promoting that. He did was wrong, but the family forgave him. At the end of the day, that's who's going to suffer. And it's about justice, but when you think about justice, I keep looking at the young African-American boy that's gotten 5 or 10 years for killing, for supposedly setting a dog on fire, and a white man who killed the dog got probation.
Well, no, I heard one better than that. Who was that killed a woman the other day and got a $50,000 bond. And this boy killed, he didn't kill the dog, didn't even set him on fire, but he was under a $100,000 bond. Does that make any sense?
And the reason
this woman's life was worth less than a dog's.
Everybody, and the sad part about that is, and when we talked about that, the media says, well, Reverend Wright, you got an African-American district attorney, you've got an African-American police chief, so what are y'all complaining about? I said, sir, for years and years and years, since we were brought over in this country, we've had jigaboos to go against us. Mm-hmm. And so because I've got somebody that look like me in a position, don't mean that I should be happy. Because he got in his position off the backs of us. Historically, it says that a lot of the African Americans who have been elected have turned their backs on their own people.
Right. All right, 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Ike. All righty. Good morning, Ike.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Ike.
All right. Good morning to both of y'all. Y'all doing a fine job. I was listening to talking about the statement that the district attorney made, and to me, you actually let it offend black people. It did me because my son went before an all-white jury.
Right.
He got 8 years in penitentiary. He got out in 5, but it's still.
Your son did 5 years in the penitentiary, man.
5 years in the penitentiary.
Behind a fist fight?
Yep, and I'm still fighting it right now. So
behind a fist fight?
Didn't have a jury of his peers?
Nope, he had an all-white jury. He said he had one Hispanic.
Who's the DA?
The DA was Bill Hill.
Okay.
All righty. Who was his lawyer?
His lawyer was a guy that was a ticket lawyer that I didn't know at the time because somebody helped me hire him. And it was John Giuffretti.
Who's the judge?
The judge was John Nelms.
John
Nelms, whose name, he's now some kind of state judge. Now he got a promotion, but and my thing is, I was reading in the paper, I was looking at these prosecutors running for all these judges' positions. Well, I was reading in the paper that the appellate court of Texas, that the Texas Appeals Court, 8 out of 9 of those judges are ex-prosecutors. So how you gonna get somebody to hear your case, which they probably know somebody, or they had something to do with sending you to jail.
Right.
These prosecutors becoming judges and appellate judges. It seems like it might be a good thing, but it's not because they're gonna cover themselves and they're gonna cover their buddies.
I tell you what, Ike, I want to put Ike on hold because something I want to ask both you and Reverend Wright. We got a big split here in Dallas County on some judges. We have some of our elected officials is pushing one ticket, and our DA is pushing another ticket. We want to discuss that. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
All right, we're back on hour 2 of Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. All righty, Neil is producing, and our special guest, Reverend Ron Wright. And we're in the midst of our winter pledge drive, and we do need some tax-deductible pledges coming in. We need you to call us, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. We need you to call us. Send in your pledge. We have all kind of perks. We got caps, aprons, folding chairs. You name it, we got the perk for you. So, but we need you to make that pledge. We need to make that pledge. You can choose your perk now or wait and make the pledge and then just come browse over the entire long list of perks that we have and choose your perk according to the amount of pledge that has been made. So call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. 1893 972 647 1893. We need you to call that pledge in. Call it in. We need you to call it in. Call it in. Call your pledge in. Call your pledge in. 972 647 1893. The faster you call these pledges in, we can get out of the pledge drive and go back to our regular scheduled programming. But we have to get off of our scheduled programming and different things like that in order to raise money, because we don't have big corporations supporting us. You support us. This is why we can talk about anything you want to talk about, is because you support us. Without your support, we won't be on the air. It's all up to you. 972-647-1893 is that number to call. 972-647-1893. Could you bring Ike back in on line 1? All righty. Ike, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Reverend Wright, Ike, we have split with Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, Royce West, and John Wiley Price. They're supporting their slate of candidates for judges, and the DA has his slate of candidates for judges. And what do y'all think about that? Do y'all know? Are you, Reverend Wright, are you familiar with some of these people? Or
Yes, I am.
Who has the better slate? What do y'all think?
Well, here's the thing, and for some particular reason, this is what we were told, and we've done our investigating, that Craig Watkins felt that he needed to get a bunch of African-American judges running, and this is what we were told. There's 15 blacks running for judge. 11 of them are female judges. And that because he felt threatened in his position, he decided to tell his prosecutors to run for judges. One of those prosecutors running against a judge that we know that's doing a great job, and they eventually backed down because we were going to support that judge. And
Who are they?
One was running against Judge Howard, and whoever that young lady was, she no longer decided to run. She stepped down. But it doesn't matter about what color you are. It's about justice. And so to have a bunch of black judges running for judges that doesn't have any experience, but you just want them to run for judge because they can, that's not a good thing to do. We want judges who are going to be equal and show true justice, not based on color.
Mm-hmm. Ike, how do you feel about it?
Well, the lady that was running against Judge Howard did not step down. She just changed who she's going to run against. So she's still running. I'm not going to put her name on blast like that. But my thing is...
You think she would make a good judge?
Well, she's a good prosecutor. If not cut you off, but she's prosecuting the case of the young African-American boy that got shot in the mouth by the white man.
Oh, she's prosecuting that case?
Yes, she is.
Well, I don't know how good she is, but I just know there was some information out against her with her and her opponent, and there was a statement made that she withheld evidence in one of the cases, and her statement was that the appellate court said that the evidence she withheld wouldn't have made any difference in the trial. Well, but that was the appellate court that said that. That wasn't the jury. If the evidence had been presented to the jury,
might have heard something different in that.
Yeah, because I just said the appellate court is built up for prosecutors and people like that. So, you know, they uphold each other. And my thing is for the district attorney, and I hate to seem like I'm against him because I voted for him on both times he ran. Mm-hmm. But for him to make a statement that blacks on the jury persuaded the George Brent case, well, if you put all blacks in the district attorney office, I mean, on the bench, then they're going to work for him. You know, you putting all of your people, you want all your people that work for you on the bench, well, then I feel like they're going to owe him something.
All right, what is Congresswoman Johnson and Senator
John Wiley Price and Royce West?
What is they beef with? What's going on?
Well, they got some pretty good. I read their list of judges. I can't name them all, but
are these good candidates?
They're good candidates, and they're judges that's already judges. You know, they got one incoming or a new one coming in that's the same prosecutor that was going to run against Judge Howard. But just to bring all these people in here and they ain't never been judges, you know, for a few of them to run, I can understand it. But you trying to wipe out the whole court system and replace them with your prosecutors as judges, I mean, what kind of chance would we talk about what the Klan do, putting all white folks in there. But why we want to reverse it and put all black in there and cause the same kind of problem?
Well, now, from what I can hear from both of y'all, y'all don't seem to trust the slate that the DA is putting in.
Well, it's about experience, and it's about experience and justice. And a lot of them may have good intentions, but being, you know what? This is my thing, Pastor, and that's in every position that people run for. And I tell people, I don't want to vote for nobody out of the blue. You come up, you want to run for something. I've never heard you do anything during the course. Up until the point that now you want to run for election, and we historically got it bad doing it. All of a sudden you want to run for city council or you want to run for judge. But what have you been doing before then?
I got to beef with all those positions when it comes to that.
Let me say this right here.
Go ahead, Ike.
They got it's in the Dallas Morning News. They're going to have 4 different settings where you can go and listen to these people that's running for judge. Okay, Thursday or next one, I think it's Wednesday and Thursday of next week, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to have it at 5 p.m. at the Below Mansion on Raw. 5 p.m. Remember that time.
Could you, what date is that? What day is that?
It's, they just said Thursday and Friday, Wednesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. on Raw.
People that work.
That's what I'm saying. But listen to the other date. Wait a minute. The other date, on the 20th and the 21st, they're going to have it at the Frank Crowley Court building at noon. Who's going to be able to go?
The people that they want to go.
Yeah, because you go down to the Frank Crowley building, you got to pay the park, then you got to be off your job, then they having that lunchtime.
Well, they having this debate down there at the jailhouse?
Yeah, you got to go through all the security.
Down at the jailhouse, they're having a debate.
So I'm saying, why they didn't have it in some neutral place like one of your major churches or somewhere in the southern sector where most of your voters is going to be voting for these people, they can go and, if you're going to have a forum in North Dallas, have one in South Dallas.
Well, that's for a certain group of people. Like, that's why they're having it at 5 o'clock, because the majority of people are at work at 5 o'clock or trying to get home at 5.
All of them at work at 12 o'clock.
And so that's why I said the majority of them, except for those people who don't have to work, that are in another status, they might want to have that for them to come in and decide if they're worthy to be voted for or not.
I tell you what, Neil, bring, we're going to get Dr. Edwards after this one, but bring in Sandra. Bring Sandra in on this one, line 2. Sandra, you there?
Yes, Reverend Barnett?
Yes,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look, I am running for State Representative District 110, and I can tell you that there are forums, 3 or 4 forums a week, and each of them are being held by a particular group like the Chamber or a Democratic club. This particular forums that they're speaking of, and they're actually on Tuesday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. at the Below Mansion, that is for lawyers. Those are lawyer groups. And the one that's being held at noon in the Frank Crowley is so that people that are up there practicing law, the clerks, they all vote. They're citizens. And so that's held at their convenience. Now, we want to invite all of you guys, Reverend Barnett and Reverend Wright. I'm not familiar with the other gentleman on your show, but we want to invite you.
Ike Steen.
Pardon?
Ike Steen.
We'd like to invite you to a panel discussion on the from the cradle to the prison pipeline, and we're going to have the criminal district judges. Now, that's this Thursday at 6:30 at Kennedy Curry Middle School. Now, that's the school that's on the corner of Bonnie View and Tioga. The school sits on Tioga, right there west of Bonnie View Road. But this, Reverend Barnett, I'm expecting in November, we are going to have the biggest flight from the Democratic Party that has been seen since the 1964 since President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act. This is scary. Reverend Barnett, this is the scariest time in the civil rights movement. Whenever a judge has to be made afraid to make a decision and have to worry about people unelecting them because they make a decision to remove an elected official, and I'm talking about Derek Evans, remove an elected official from his position, when by law, a law enforcement officer commits a crime, he loses his peace officer license. And you can't be a constable without a peace officer's license. You have people, I mean, this is just really scary. You have people running for office that don't know anything about, they're disconnected. And that really, truly goes for most of our black elected officials and Democratic Party. They are disconnected from the people that they represent. Don't do a thing for it.
Now, you say you're running in 110.
I am running in the seat that was vacated by Barbara Mallory to Barbara Mallory Caraway to run for Congress. And it's currently being held, or the seat is being kept warm by Tony Rose, the JP's daughter.
Right.
And she has been the biggest disappointment. And if you give me a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about a disconnect.
We got other callers on the line, Sandra.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ike.
I just want to ask that question. She's talking about the disappointment of the judge not removing Derek Evans from office. But what about the disappointment wait a minute, let me ask you a question. What about the disappointment that Chief Brown asked for a arrest warrant on Officer Spencer and the judge denied him? So what about that disappointment? Is that,
Which judge is this?
They won't give the name of the judge. We haven't found that out.
It's probably a magistrate. It's probably not one of these judges that's sitting on the bench. Usually those warrants are signed by magistrates. And why wouldn't she do that? I mean,
why would you defy the police chief if that's what he wants?
Well, because there has to be enough evidence given to the judge to warrant.
The man that was in the chair with his arms, with the knife in his hand, he wasn't a threat. He was a mentally ill man. It made
I remember that situation.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that if I was, they don't have to have an indictment or anything to arrest me. I can run a red light and go to jail. If anybody say nothing about indictment, they can go down there and get a warrant to search my house. They can go get a warrant to tap my phone. But when Chief Brown, who is your police chief, asked a judge for an arrest warrant, and it's denied. So, we talking about
look. We're all big kids. We're all big kids. And if you don't think that game knows game. A lot of times, these guys are elected officials and government officials. They play good guy, bad guy. That's a lot of what's going on, unfortunately, with Craig Watkins and the Brent case. I mean, they take a position based on what they think that the people want. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chief Brown, went to the judge and wink, wink. I'm gonna ask for this because this is gonna help me with my PR. And since you're a magistrate judge and we don't know who you are, and then you just deny it.
I agree.
If you don't think that those handshakes and wink winks don't go on
I agree with you, Sandra.
in politics, then, you're a very naive voter.
Sandra, who do you think, how did you feel about the decision to give Mr. Brent probation? What did you feel about that?
Well, given that the family of the victim asked for him not to be in prison. And they asked for that.
Right. His mother.
She wanted, that's right. She wanted closure. She wanted closure. And since they were very good friends, she didn't want to see him in prison. That was one thing. The other is that the defense team indicated that the deceased had as much responsibility to try to get a cab or try to get someone else to drive them home. They both knew that they were drunk. So she just didn't want to go to. My understanding is that she asked that it not even go to trial.
Right, she did.
But my understanding is that, you know, because these are high-profile cases. He's a Dallas Cowboy, and the DA's running for re-election, and this is how prosecutors do it. This is the way they do it all over the country. They love to take on high-profile cases and put them in the
I hate
media.
to cut you off, but I'm up against a break. But I thank you for your call. I hate to cut you off. Thank
I appreciate you. It's Sandra Crenshaw.
All right.
All right, I'm going to Reverend Barnett. I'm out.
All right, then. We'll see both of y'all. All right. Call us at 972-647-1893 to make your tax-deductible pledges. Please call us. Please call us, 972-647-1893. We'll be right back. All right. We're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett Joseph. We're here in the midst of our winter pledge drive, and we have Kimberly Devons. Thank you, ma'am, for your pledges. Your pledge. Wayman Stewart. Thank you, sir. All the way from Tyler, Texas. All right. Big, nice pledge from Tyler, Texas. Wayman Stewart. You know, Knon is powerful.
Yes, sir.
It's powerful. I was going to Houston once, almost got it right, almost inside of Houston. Going to Austin. You can pick it up just about all the way to Austin.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It's powerful. It is powerful. And that's why people ought to, do your advertising on KNON. It is powerful. We hit a lot of people, a whole lot of people right here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I'd like to I'll be thanking all those who pledged to me this morning again. And I'd like to also thank Total Precision. Boy, they're good to me. They are really good to my program. Total Precision. This is they give the test licensing for
weapons.
Yeah, concealed handgun weapons. They give that. They give that course and everything. Get your concealed gun weapons. But they're good to my show, and I thank them. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. But right now, let's go aside and talk to our own Reverend Dr. All righty, Travis Edwards. Good morning, Dr. Edwards.
Hey, Reverend Barnett, how you doing?
Man, thank you for holding on. Thank you for holding on. I know you've been holding a while. I'm doing great. You doing all right?
I'm doing good. Listen, I want to do something here real quick, and I want to see if I can get 50 people in this city to guarantee and pledge $100 a month with me. I'm going to give $100 a month, and I need 50 people to join me. I need 50 people to give $50 a month, and I need 50 people to give $25 per month.
All right.
So we're looking at basically 150 people, and that will bring to your show right at $100,000 a year. So
I love it. I love it.
I'm vowed for $100 a month, and I'll probably give extra, but I'm looking for 50 people that will give $100 a month for the next 12 months.
All right.
50 people who will do $50 a month for the next 12 months.
Great.
And people who will do $25 a month. That will bring $100,000 to your show.
Oh, man.
I think it's all worth it. So can we get people to call in? I need 50 people to guarantee $100 a month, and 50 people to do $50 a month, and 50 people to do $25 a month.
Hey.
And then we got 150 people out of 500,000 people. We have 150 people to make sure that this show stays on the air.
All right.
I'm asking for that. But then secondly, I'm getting off. There's a Judge Cortez, who is running against Bonnie Lee Goldstein. Let's make sure that we understand that Carlos Cortez is he will accept bribes, he will accept money under the table. He had a chance, Reverend Barnett, had my case gone to trial.
Give you a day in court.
Even my day in court, it would have changed the course of how doctors and where doctors can practice, and patients who have been injured because of $5,000. So let's make sure that Carlos Cortez was running against Bonnie Lee Goldstein. Now, I've done some work on her, and she seemed to be fairly well. I don't know much about it. But Bonnie Lee Goldstein is running against Carlos Cortez. Carlos Cortez kept my case from going to trial, which would have changed the scope of even how the Affordable Care Act is going to play out. Based on the fact that I wasn't given a chance to go to trial, the health care regulators are still purging our doctors out of these poor communities.
Dr. Edwards, there are a lot of people don't believe me, and we talk about it a lot of times. We be different places in different forums. I travel a lot. And when I tell them that one of the most racist institutions in the world is medical practice, do you agree with that?
Oh, Reverend Barnett, that's who owned most of the slaves. That we got in 1611. The slave trade owners, the biggest profession of those was the medical profession. It was the medical profession that has voted down every piece of legislation that would have helped African Americans and the health disparities that were created at the chattel slavery. So this is the health profession. I mean, they taught in their medical schools that our brain sizes were small and that racial superiority, white superiority, black inferiority was taught by the medical profession, and actually still doing it today. I mean, medical students at Harvard go in and see a 29-year-old black male with a blood pressure of 150 over 90. That's all right. And we all know that you would live 4 years longer if your pressure was 120 over 80. But they believe that because it's African American, the health disparities has been proven to be racially motivated.
I got the best of insurance, but if I go, am I guaranteed if I go to certain doctors and everything that I'm going to get the same health care? A white man, my age, same insurance, everything. Will I get? In many cases, will I get the same type of care that he get? No, sir.
There's a book called Unequal Treatment, and they've got about 1,200 references in it called Unequal Treatment, and they've done a lot of studies on this. And they let's say you went in with chest pain, diaphoretic, short of breath, and same guy, same age, same condition. With the insurance, both got Aetna, whatever the case is, the clinical bias decision making was they would give you a pill and send you home and send the other guy to the cath lab. So if he was white, so that's why we experienced what we call excess death, Reverend Barnett, 100,000 excess deaths. If you went to 10 funerals last year that were black, 4 of them were unnecessary only because they were black. So that the data is out there. You go get Ben Carson's, you go get anybody from HHS, anybody that want to debate me based on the facts, not on feelings, not on opinion, but based on the data and the facts that are out here. The medical profession has failed, particularly the black community, extremely bad. And so I'm on this bandwagon. I'm going to do it until I leave here, that I believe that people ought to have a right to health care. It's a right. It's not a privilege. And they really messed me around, Reverend Barnett, and I didn't do anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong but try to help people. And I'm going to fight this until, there's nothing left until y'all penalize me. No, we with you all the way on this one because, man, they did you wrong. Reverend Wright, he was doing house calls. You hadn't seen that since you were a small child, doing house calls, doing everything. And these people just would not even give him a day in court. Me and Doc talked the other day, and we're trying to get in touch with the Justice Department and ask them what is it that we're going to ask them to investigate the case over getting. If there's something he done wrong, just tell us what he did wrong, and we'll go away. Oh, don't worry. If he done something wrong, he'd be under jail. Absolutely. There's no doubt. And they won't respond back to Dr. Edwards so we're trying to put together a file together and want to call the Justice Department and say, just look at the file. Takes you a couple of days. Look at the file, and if he done something wrong, just check it and let us know so we can tell Doc, you did something wrong. But they won't do it. They won't even look at his case. And so we're going back at that again, Reverend Barnett, because Doc ain't fighting this thing if he thought he done something wrong. No. He wouldn't stir up that hornet's nest. No, he wouldn't. No. He just take what he got and run with it. But no, you were done wrong. I've seen the case and been dealing with it for years with you, and you were done totally wrong. And this is sad. The situation is a bad situation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Reverend Barnett. And Carlos Cortez, had he been a judge and done just what he was elected to do, take an oath to protect the public,
he would have given me my day in court, and we would have had a new day in medicine, because my case is a landmark case. So remember the name, Carlos Cortez. Do not elect that man, okay, Brother Barnett? And I appreciate you, and I want the people to come in and join me. I need 50 people to call in today and make a 1-year pledge of $100 a month, and 50 people to make $50 a month, and 50 people to do. So we're just asking 150 people to keep this station on the air. And that's asking too much. Thank you very much.
I thank you, and I certainly appreciate it. You've been a big supporter of mine. And Dr. Wright, I'm thanking you while you're here in person. You've been a big financial supporter of mine also. And we need some more. We need more. We need all the supporters we can get so we can stay on the air and bring you information that other stations are not going to touch. They're not going to touch what we will say. All right, 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Gerald. All righty, good morning, Gerald.
Good morning, Brother Barnett and Esther.
Good morning. Mm-hmm.
It's ironic that you're all talking about this subject. It just something come over me Thursday morning that as I was working, about how we as the black generation is getting shortchanged still, and how they are doing their best to discourage you by any means necessary. And it goes so far to where it's like taking one of our lives is nothing. It's worse than slavery. But the thing about it, just like the brother that is having the injustice done to him, can't give up. But also you can't give up, and you definitely can't be passive about it and scared about defending yourself from it's a whole big picture. And they don't just come at you one time and with one case. When you knock one down, they got 10 more other iniquitous ways of coming at you again. So it's like trying to destroy you mentally, but want you to think that they're helping you. It's that termite that we don't see that hurts us. You know, a termite, if you don't treat for it, you won't really notice it there like you do the ant, because the ant gonna bite, and you see it bite. You can get rid of it. So these things that we're facing nowadays is more prevalent than it was back then.
Right.
Thanks for taking my call.
All righty. We thank you, sir. We thank you for that call. And we like some more calls coming in. We need some pledges coming in. Thank you again, the Songbird of Dallas, Miss Tommy Young West. Thank you for your tax-deductible pledge.
Just the best.
Yes, Miss Eddie Bunson. Thank you for your tax-deductible pledge. Mr. Wayman Stewart, thank you, sir, for your tax-deductible pledge. And Kimberly Devons, we thank you for your pledges. And we've got people over the years and some other pledge drives, and like Henry Atkins. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Donna Arsenault. Thank you, ma'am. Lily Brown, James Collins, Ms. Eddie Dunson, Anthony Lonsdale, Oscar McCraney, Wanda Marnix, Tony Morris, Mary Owens, Curtis Reed, James Smith, Willie Smith, Ike Steen, Kimberly Walker. These are many of the people, some of the people that excuse me, that pledges to this show, and we want to thank you. We certainly appreciate people that pledge to this show, because we want to stay on the air to keep bringing you information that's vitally needed that you don't hear every day. I don't go and try to read to you some week-old news that have gone on, and you can get that same slant from ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, or whoever it is. No, we're going to tell it like it is, like you won't hear it in many cases. We're going to tell you the truth about the situation, give you both sides. So you call us at 972-647-1893. We need you to call that tax-deductible pledge in. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We need you. We have the most brilliant, we have the nicest audience, good people listen to this show. Many times I can look at people and tell if they listen to my shows. You know that? I see people everywhere, some of the nicest people you ought to see, and I don't even know. And they'll come up to me and ask me, "Are you Reverend Barnett?" And I said, "Yes." Some of them just hear me talking and ask me, I know your voice from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And some of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Nice people. These are good people. These people are the foundation of churches and communities and everything. They are solid foundations. And you're a foundation to my show. You people that are, you good people, you nice people, y'all are a foundation to my show. And you can call us and you join us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We have with us Reverend Ron Wright. I have him on a lot because he's a fighter. Man, he's a fighter. He's a fighter. He doesn't turn up his nose at people when they come to him, like some of your arrogant politicians. If you're not the right person, not known in the community, don't have status that they think you ought to have, they're not going to listen to you. Or if they do, they put it off. You're talking to them, they have their mind somewhere else. But Reverend Wright, if you have something serious and something that's gone on with you, Reverend Wright want to listen. Not only will he ready, listen, boy, he's ready to go to battle and start swinging. So this is the type of show. This is what we need. These are the kind of people I deal with. I don't deal with sorry folk that's just out there to take your money. They call me all the time. No, I don't deal with them. I don't deal with them. I love everybody, but I don't deal with these people because I know they're out to get you. They don't care anything about you. Y'all just go and cast your vote for these people who will do nothing for you. Please, 972-647-1893. Call those pledges in. Thank you. And Neil, she's trying to take these pledges. She's taking this by herself. She's running the boards and everything by herself. So let it ring. Be patient with her. Be patient with her. 972-647-1893. I think we're just about up against a break. I don't want to bring any of y'all on the air and have to cut you off. So y'all stay on the lines. We're going to take it. If y'all want to talk on air, stay on the lines, and we'll take you right after this break. We'll be right back. All right. You can call us at 972-647-1893 to make your tax-deductible pledge. Please call us, 972-647-1893, and you'll get the list of all the perks. Believe me, I was looking in the storeroom the other day. It is jammed full. Y'all get some of these pledges out of that storeroom for the fire marshal to set us down up here. Come on and make your tax-deductible pledges, 972-647-1893. 972. Like I said, we out of sight. Now, those of you hanging on the line, just hang on the line. I'm going to come right to you. You're going to get on there. You know, we love audience participation. We love for you to be a part of this program because we want you to make your statement. This is a forum where you can make your statement and whatever is on your mind. I don't ever cut people off because, that's not it. Nobody will. No. We don't play that game here. Everybody on this particular show is somebody. This is where everybody is somebody. This is where ain't no big eyes, little U's. I don't care who you are. No big eyes, little U's on this show. We want you to be a part of this program and call us at 972-647-1893. Call us at 972-647-1893. We'd like to thank Terry Normore. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. I hope I am pronouncing your name right. Terry Normore. Okay. Thank you, Terry, for your tax-deductible pledge. All right. They seem to like this backpack. I see that. Well, whatever. There's plenty of stuff up here. Believe me. That showroom is packed to the gills with so much stuff that you can have yourself a good time. Bring Cheryl on line 2 on. Let me have Cheryl. All righty. Good morning, Cheryl. Is she gone? Huh? Maybe we held on too long. Maybe Cheryl, are you there?
No, she's gone.
She's gone? All right, let's bring up Reverend Crenshaw. See if he's still there. Rev, you still there?
Yes, I am.
All righty, go right ahead.
The living color.
All righty.
Yes, sir. I like to say a few colorful things, but yesterday y'all had a good subject when you were talking about the Moors and the Nubians and different other ethnic groupings around Africa. You see, Africa, they have many ethnic groupings, just like whites have and Asians do.
Well, yeah, the Moors, the Constantines, yeah, all of those, the Saracens, yeah, they were all there, the Moors. You have to understand that all around that Mediterranean area was a country that the most dominant country around that area for centuries was a country called Carthage. Africa.
Hannibal of Carthage?
Yes, it dominated everything from Greece all the way over to Portugal and the whole area. And many of the people you see, this is why they have that olive tone, skin tone coloring, is because they were dominated by the Africans of the continent. And the Moors were some of these people that were powerful in the land and different ones. So these things they're true. They're not. You're not going to find them in American history books. Just like you're not going to find most seminaries and colleges, a lot of times, they will not teach you who the real Jews are, that they were black, the descendants of Abraham. They were black. They will not teach you. They will show you a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus, when the father of the Aryan nation, when it comes to one of the sons of Noah, was Japheth. He's the father of white people. Europeans. You do not find a descendant of Japheth nowhere in the genealogical line of Jesus. Nowhere, but they make him a white man. You find Ham and Shem, both were black. In his genealogical line, but why all of a sudden he became blonde-haired and blue-eyed? I guess Michelangelo wanted to paint that picture of his lover.
Ashkenaz. You've heard of Ashkenaz.
The Ashkenazis? Those are Greeks. They're also called the Khazars. These are people that came as early as 780 BC into Israel and accepted the Jewish faith.
That's right.
This is how the Jews, we get a European stock Jew. But they're not the Jews by sperm or by birth through Abraham. These people were black, and during the 70 A.D., when they raided Israel and destroyed many people, and thousands of lives were lost, and they scattered them all over the world, they went into Armenia and different places, what was known as a part of the Soviet Empire, the eastern part of the Soviet Empire. But the blacks, those who were basically, when it comes to lines and what you want to read about them, they were known as the Essenes. They went into Ethiopia. They went into Africa, to Egypt, into the Ivory Coast, Gold Coast, all the west coast of Africa. These were some of the same people, many of the same people that were brought to America and made slaves. We have to understand who we are, but most people don't. They don't.
That's amazing, Pastor. As we approach Black Mystery Month, we need to be educating our people.
Man, most of our people don't want it.
I mean, but we're not getting it in the schools. We need to try to do it in the church.
Right.
But if you don't know where you come from, how you know where you're going?
Right.
We got to start, and I said Black Mystery Month, not history, but it's a mystery.
Yeah.
Because we keeping it to ourselves and we're not getting it to our children, and they don't have a clue of what's going on in our lives, and that's sad. We don't know who we are, and because we don't know who we are, we don't know what we're going to ever be. And
we let the people play games. They tell us that Bible, that's a white man. No, that's not no white man's book. If it ever was a black book, it's the Bible. And we don't understand it. We don't know it.
Different religions that dispute that, and at the end of the day, every religion got a part of the Bible in it, but but the Bible has everything.
But they can dispute this. This is history. This is history. This is the Bible. This is God speaking to us, and it's an indisputable truth. It's undisputable truth. And,
I want to ask you, Dr. Barnett, how did they get those first 5 popes, I believe, to be?
3 of the first 5 popes were Africans.
Yeah, how did that come to be?
Well, no, I mean, it was founded by the Africans and the Greeks. Remember, the Greek Orthodox Church used to be a part of the Roman Catholic Church, but they split over celibacy. The Greeks were saying you should marry, have a family. The Roman Catholics said no, you should remain celibate. But there are other variations I'm not going to go into. That was behind that. That was true variations that had come out here in the later years. Well, that was behind that decision. But we won't go there. But when we find that we play a great part, such great historians and such great Christians such as St. Augustine.
Oh, yeah, St. Augustine.
He was a black man.
Go ask you about him.
Yeah, he was a black man. We find many of the early people. Paul, the Bible lets you know Paul was black. Tell you he was black. They accused Paul of being that Egyptian. They got those 4,000 men, let them off into death, and they asked him, aren't you that Egyptian? This is in the book of Acts. The Bible teaches you who we are and what Jesus looked like. If we read it with some understanding.
That's it.
Most of the time, we have no understanding of the Bible because we have been taught with a Eurocentric mind that really makes sure that when we speak of the Bible in the back of our mind, we think we're reading about characters that look like Europeans, and they don't. All righty then. Thank you, sir. 972-647-1893. We need some pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We'd like to thank Mr. Robert Baker. Thank you, sir, for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you. And we need those pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. We need those pledges coming in. 972-647-1893. Yes. Keep those lines lighted up. Keep them lighted up. Keep Neil moving. Keep her moving. She didn't you say you were going to a health fitness class or something? You said. You get one on Saturday mornings. Keep her moving. Keep her moving. Keep on moving. All right, 972-647-1893. That's the number, God. There you go. Light it up. Keep it lighted up. And please be patient. Please be patient. Let it ring. Let it ring. Because she's doing this by herself. Thank you. 972-647-1893. All righty. Let's take Billy on line 4. Let's go to Billy. Let's take him on line 4. Good morning, Billy.
How you doing, sir?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing good. Listen, I spoke to you sometime back. I was asking you about a journalist. I still want to talk to you about that in private. But what I called about was there was an American assistant DA and then who had sued them for discrimination, and she won a $170,000 judgment. The Fifth Circuit U.S. Appeal Court in New Orleans overturned it.
Now, you said this was in Denton?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that Fifth Circuit Appeal Court. Remember, those are all they're all Republican appointees in that circuit court in New Orleans. Sometimes, have she decided she's going to try to take this to the Supreme Court?
Well, they just appealed. It just came out in the paper on February 3rd that they appealed it. You know, and so I hadn't heard anything.
You haven't heard? They haven't.
What she's going? Yeah.
They haven't decided if they're going to hear it.
Yes. But the Fifth Circuit appeal, they overturned her $170,000 judgment.
You know, that's sad, because if a local court like Kenton, something like that, would give you $170,000, you know she was right. You know she was in the right if they give it right here in North Texas. But they took it on for Go right ahead.
Yeah, what happened was, the DA turned around and fired the 3 that was involved in it. They fired them.
Is that right?
Yes, and then the powers to be, they wasn't satisfied with that, and so they carried it to their boys down New Orleans, and they got it overturned.
Oh my goodness! Look, I wish I had more time to talk to you. I'm completely running out of time, but call me back next week, and we can put you more on the air. Okay?
All right, sir.
All righty. We'd like to thank Miss Sylvia Coxon. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your tax-deductible pledge. Thank you, ma'am. Bring me line 1. Bring me the job line. Let me get Greg in. Let me get him in. Greg, are you there?
I'm here, Reverend Barnett.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Fine. Are there any jobs out there?
There are awesome jobs out here, but I'll mention this after I do the job line. This morning on our SAT job line, the Solutions and Actions Today job line, brought to you every Saturday morning during Church Information and Open Forum here on Knon 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have MPL Industries is looking for a tool, die maker, and warehouse worker. They're asking you to contact Melissa Mitchell at the number for inquiry is 972-233-0757. This is to schedule an interview. Once again, the contact information for inquiry is Melissa Mitchell at 972-233-0757. DT Systems is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to email your resume to resumes@dtsystems.com. Once again, that's DT Systems is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to email your resume to resumes@dtsystems.com. The New Haven Company is looking for customer service representatives. They're holding job interviews on site Monday through Friday. The interview starts from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The address is 1250 Champion Circle, Suite 100, Carrollton, Texas. Once again, that's New Haven Companies is looking for customer service representatives. They're holding on-site job interviews Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 1250 Champion Circle, Suite 100, Carrollton, Texas. Niagara Bottling is looking for production personnel. That's the individuals that make the water bottles. They're asking you to apply online at www.careers-niagarawater, NIAGARAWATER.ICIMS.com. Once again, that web address is www.careers-niagarawater.ICIMS.com. AC Supply is looking for a warehouse worker and driver. They're asking you to apply. They're asking you to email your resume to info@acsupplycompany.com. Once again, that's AC Supply Company is looking for a warehouse worker and a delivery driver. They're asking you to email your resume to info@acsupplycompany.com. If you are a child-loving patient and energetic individual who would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving patient and energetic individual who would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. You are a person affected by addiction and needs assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job search. The number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, that number is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Today is also a great day to make a pledge to church information and open forum and follow through with. Today is also a great day to make a pledge to church information and open forum and follow through with. Reverend Barnett, I caught pieces of the show, and I did catch the break between the local elected officials and our elected DA, Greg Watkins. There's also a break in the leadership of the Democratic Party. Right. And I would like to see those two candidates come on your show to the debate. Let's get the issues out on the table, and that is I believe it's the current incumbent, Darlene Ewing.
Yes, she's been here many times on my show. Yeah.
Challenger Heath Harris.
All right, I'll get them. I'll get them both on the show and we debate them.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Greg.
That brings our SAT job line to a close. Thank you, Reverend.
You did a good job, as always. Great job. Always a great job. We'd like to thank Miss Mary Gooch for her wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pledge. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Well, we got a minute left. Reverend Wright, how you like to wrap it up?
Well, I just want to thank you, Pastor, for all the work that you do, and thank Greg for doing his job. We're getting ready to approach our 4th year anniversary of Justice Seekers Texas. And thank God, it's been 4 years. We thank God for that, and we welcome people to give us a call at 214-779 3549. I'm the senior pastor of God's Community Church of Joy, and we're growing, pastor, and that's awesome ministry now. So God is good, and we continue to fight for those who Jesus considers to be the least of these.
Thank you. How about membership in your Justice Seekers?
Justice Seekers. I tell you what we're doing. We're just sitting here thinking about it. If you want to be a member of Justice Seekers, if you go ahead and give a pledge campaign to KNON and leave your name with Reverend Barnett, we'll give you a discount on Justice Seekers membership, which is $60 a year.
Thank you.
We'll cut that baby in half if you pledge to KNON and Reverend Barnett show. Just give him a call and let him know, or call us at 214-779-3549. God bless you.
All right. I'm Marion Barnett. I'm senior pastor of Heavenly Joy Church. We are located at Bruton and Masters, right here in the city of Dallas. Service begin at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, Sunday school 9:30, Bible study Wednesday evening 7 o'clock. So come by and see us and help us praise the Lord and teach the people. So Amen. God will bless you. Thank you, Neil. Thank you for
yes, indeed.
Yes, producing this show. Got to get out and got to run. Come in next as Workers Beat, and we'll stay right there. Stay tuned right there. We'll be right back.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.